An interesting development happened in our western neighbor, Pakistan, a couple of weeks back. The Indian media, as well as the social media, even the global media, has been discussing and a lot of debate happening about the development. The development is the Pakistan government has appointed a new Chief of Army Staff, General Asim Munir Ahmed. In this episode, we'll be discussing, look into it, the factors that unfolded the current development and what are the implications and how it does it mean for India as well, one of its neighbor. There is a say, every country has an army, but in Pakistan, the army has a country. In this context, if you look in the past, the Chief of Army Staff of Pakistan, in the last 75 years of its independence, the Pakistan almost 70% ruled by the army chief. So the army has undoubtedly absolute control over Pakistan politics. But this year, the development when Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has recommended General Asim Munir Ahmed for the Chief of Army Staff to replace the General Bajwa, who got an extension by the then Prime Minister Imran Khan in 2019 for 3 years, which is unprecedented in Pakistan's military history. That has also sort of raised many questions. That indicates that the political establishment wanted to change the image that Pakistan has been having from the external international community, that in Pakistan the politics is controlled by army. This appointment happened at a time when Pakistan is facing a sort of a political crisis after Imran Khan was ousted, and Imran Khan has started the massive rally which is going to culminate sooner or later. And Pakistan is also heading for a general election next year. Probably it can happen in the month of March, or it may be postponed to the October. So the moment the government is dissolved, within 90 days, as per the Pakistan Constitution, the election needs to be held. So in this context, and recently there was an assassination attempt on Imran Khan, and the media report says that this has been done by the Pakistan army. The Pakistan army is also facing a reputation crisis when few weeks before the General Bajwa's, his predecessor's retirement or the term comes to an end, there was a series of scandal reports leaked in the media which pointed to General Bajwa's assets, which is a disproportionate asset he has amassed in the past 2.5 years. It is interesting note that General Bajwa was given extension by none other than the Imran Khan. So the equation between the Imran Khan and General Bajwa, in the initial period it was cordial, but over the period the army also sort of trying to get control over the Pakistan politics. With the Shehbaz Sharif becoming a Prime Minister representing the Pakistan Muslim League, one of the largest party in Pakistan, and within a year down the line he is going to face election, and this appointment is seen as a very crucial in the Pakistan politics as well, and it will have some sort of a regional concern. It is going to raise some regional concern. General Asim Munir, if you look at his the background and profile, it has been discussed and it is available in the public media. We are not going to discuss about his background and his bio, but what is important is that he has a unique combination of that he headed Director General Military Intelligence and also the Pakistan's one of the coveted the intelligence, the Inter-Service Intelligence Agency. Both he headed, and he headed this inter-services intelligence. It is interesting point that when Pulwama attack happened, unlike the previous generals, the Chief of Army Staff, General Asim Munir has never had any sort of orientation or military education from the Western military institutes or sort of staff colleges. Rather, he had done his defense attaché from Saudi Arabia, and he has been, media report says that portrayed as he is very pious and religious. And a lot of debate that whether that will impact on this Pakistan's military doctrine. Now, looking at what are the challenges now the current Pakistan army or before the General Asim Munir going to face. The first and foremost, the problem that in which the General Chief of Army Staff is going to face is that to restore the image of the Pakistan army, and the second is that the day he became the Chief of Army Staff, the Punjabi Taliban, the so-called Punjabi Taliban or Tehreek-e-Taliban has while broken the ceasefire agreement which they had with the Pakistan army, and there was a series of attack happened. So Pakistan army will have to face from the western border, particularly the Pakistan Afpak border, to deal with this Tehreek-e-Taliban as well as the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. The external challenges that the army chief is going to face is multiple challenges. One is the Ukraine-Russia war which is happening now, and how the regional realignment, strategic realignment is happening in South Asia, and Pakistan has to steer within that the structural changes. The other important domestic challenges that he would face is the how he is being seen as very close to the PM Pakistan Muslim League, Shehbaz Sharif. And the Asim Munir was particularly chosen in consultation with his brother, Shehbaz Sharif's brother, Nawaz Sharif. So it sees that the PML or the Pakistan Muslim League is having sort of hope and expectations that General Munir will going to suppress this Imran Khan movement, so that his party will able to get re-elected and get a majority win. As far as the Pakistan domestic politics is concerned, there are three key contenders. One is the Pakistan Muslim League, Nawaz Sharif family. The other is Imran Khan, Tehreek-e-Insaf, Imran Khan's party, and the People's Party by Bilawal Bhutto, son of the late Benazir Bhutto. If you look at into the ethnic format, if you look at in the past appointment of Chief of Army Staff, the majority of them are dominated by the Punjabis. So there is an ethnic angle to this appointment, and that's the reason that maybe perhaps this Bajwa was given an extension, because Imran Khan, being a Pashtun, wanted to do balance, because the majority of the Pakistan army are Punjabis, and in fact it is also called as a Pakistan army is also called as a Punjabi army. So the Punjabi dominance which they wanted to retain, and in that respect, even it can be extended to the political realm. In the days to come when the election is happening. So there is an ethnical angle to it. So he is also in a Punjabi Chief of Army Staff being appointed, and probably he will ensure that the Shehbaz Sharif gets re-elected, and whatever the opposition parties may be suppressed with the armies. So now the Pakistan political establishments needs army. So I would see in that way that political establishments, they wanted to use army against their political rivals. This is what it is coming out, and it is going to play out in the years to come, and we are going to see that. Now, another interesting angle to this appointment of Munir. In fact, when he was a brief time served as a DG ISI, he was the one who exposed Imran Khan's wife's disproportionate assets and other scandals, and that had dented Imran Khan's image as an anti-corruption crusader, and that's the reason that Imran Khan got elected to power. However, still Imran Khan tops the popularity in terms of political popularity in Pakistan. Now the third aspects of the appointment, how you see in terms of vis-a-vis India, it is I think that the General Asim Munir, since he is preoccupied with the priorities are primarily the domestic as well as the western borders, and focusing on this TTP and the Afpak border, the tranquility and the stability in the Afpak border. I think that his hardline approach would continue vis-a-vis in his eastern northern sector, particularly on Kashmir. And that also indicates that his first visit to the LOC, wherein he made a sort of which is statement, and which is also sort of given a signal that the army chief is going to maintain a hardline approach. That doesn't mean that the ceasefire which we had between India and Pakistan in 2003 and it was reinforced in 2021 will not be violated as such, since there are international community is closely monitoring the Pakistan's the terrorism, and recently they have come out of this FATF, the grey list, and that shows that Pakistan doesn't want to portray. The army is also very much concerned about that it supports terrorism. Rather, they may resort to new tactics using technologies. For instance, I may see that there may be chances, the possibilities of increasing of drone attacks across, rather than sending trained militants or mujahideen across the border. So there may be increased number of drone attacks, increased number of drones delivering drugs across the border, and that sort of nuisance is going to happen. This is what the readings of the Asim Munir as his appointment. The last part I would like to sum up that this is also a crucial time for Pakistan in terms of how the army, which has been controlling the politics, and the politics has been controlled by three ethnic families from the Bhutto family from Sindh. Ethnically they are Rajput converted to Muslims, Muslim, and then you have Punjabis like Sharif family who controls the huge assets, wealth in the Pakistan. Then the Imran Khan is quite popular in the Pashtun community, as well as he is seen as a more appeal to the youths. And this is where the army is going to play as a sort of rather than an umpire role, or may going to be play as a sort of a gambler whom they wanted to bet on. So the ultimate choice for the army, especially the General Asim Munir, will definitely bet on Imran Khan. The politics, the politicians also having who would get elected by 2023 December. By next year, we'll get to know who will be the Prime Minister, or the political changes that is going to happen in Pakistan, and that will also determines Asim Munir's his tenure, how he efficiently played his role as a Chief of Army Staff.